Hey, what is up, you guys? It's Armando Torres here again, back with another unboxing, you could say, on a watch that I ordered a little while ago now on drop.com. It was my first time ordering on drop.com, so I was a little hesitant, but I had heard about it for a really long time, and I decided to give it a go, especially considering that the watch that I was looking at was very unique in my collection. I've never had this brand of watch. It ties into sort of what I'm wearing. I'm wearing a Disneyland Mickey Mouse shirt right now and a Mickey Mouse watch. We'll do a quick wrist check in a little bit. It's an Ingersoll watch. Ingersoll. So this is the Ingersoll Reliance. And I'm a little surprised that I got this watch. I was surprised because it has mineral crystal and it's a non-hacking movement. Both are big no-nos for me now. Like, I've gotten kind of spoiled lately when it comes to watches, in the sense that I don't really like watches that don't hack, and I don't really like watches that have mineral crystal. Now, sometimes the urge is too great, and the fact that it has mineral crystal doesn't deter me from the watch. And such is the case with this watch. When I saw it, I right away was like, that's a very unique looking watch. I really like how it looks. I really like the dial. It's a blue dial, which I don't have that many blue dials in my collection. So I was like, you know what? This is kind of a sporty watch that I feel I'll really like and would look really good in my collection. Now, when I first saw the watch, I immediately thought it was like a Rolex Explorer homage. Certainly right away when you first look at it, it makes you sort of think of that watch. But the more I looked at it, the more it kind of reminded me of like an Oyster Perpetual or like a Datejust mixed with a Rolex Explorer. It's a very unique looking watch. I think for $100, which is more or less what this watch cost me, I thought that it was worth the investment. I thought it was worth having this watch, this brand, with in the collection. So this brand is really unique. It does tie into Disneyland. It does tie into Mickey Mouse. So we are going to go ahead and flip the camera around, get a quick wrist check, and talk a little bit more about the history and the watch that I have on wrist. Before we do that, make sure to like this video, comment, favorite, subscribe, all that jazz, and follow me on Instagram at Mondo the Watch Guy. We are in the middle of a giveaway. You can say we've kind of officially started. Even though the video is not out, thank you so much for being patient with me, guys. I am working on just catching up with all of the unboxings that I have right now, getting those out of the way first, because the longer I wait to do the unboxings, the longer I have to wait to actually wear the watch, because I don't wear the watch until, I do the unboxings for you guys. So all the watches that are waiting to be unboxed are watches that I have not opened or seen, with the exception of a couple of them. In fact, this Ingersoll I have actually already opened and sized and all that. And I've been wearing it and all that. I just didn't do the unboxing because the day that I did my unboxing, I lost like all of the footage from the unboxing. So this watch, as well as one more, I have been wearing and I have worn, and I did unbox, but I lost all the footage. But I'm catching up with all of that. So this is a watch that I've already opened and already worn and sized and all that. So I've already seen it, I've already worn it, but I'm doing it for you guys so you guys can see. Can I do that with all of my unboxings? I guess I probably could, but I won't, because I want you guys to see the initial reactions. That's the point of the unboxings, at least for me, is to get that initial reaction on camera and let you guys see what I think right off the bat. That's going to be different from reviews. I do plan to do a state of the collection and a future prospects video. So I want to do those videos, and then I want to do reviews of most, if not all, of my watches, and I have like 30 something watches right now. So I have content coming up for you guys. I'm really excited to do that. The reviews are going to look different than the unboxings, and I'm really excited to show you all of that, as well as modding videos coming up. So now, guys, let's flip the camera around, see what's on my wrist, and talk a little bit more about this watch. So here's what I'm wearing on my wrist, guys. It is a very silly, very big Mickey Mouse quartz watch, and I didn't bother doing an unboxing for this watch on my channel for a couple of reasons. One, I really only bought this watch as a gift for my girlfriend, and by that I mean this watch came with a Minnie Mouse quartz watch, and I gave her that one, and I got this one. And, the idea was to wear it whenever we went to Disneyland, which became sort of a rarity in 2020 due to the pandemic. crazy times we're living in, but I don't really wear this watch as much anymore because, again, that was pretty much the only reason to wear this watch. But I do think that it is pretty charming and kind of nice. It feels pretty chintzy. It feels very cheap, but it actually does a pretty good job of keeping the time, and it's always nice to see Mickey's hands go around. I also remember watching an episode of Talking Watches with Keegan Allen, and he kind of talks about wearing this watch and not taking himself too seriously, which I guess is a pretty good reason to wear this or any Mickey Mouse watch. I just wear it because I like all things Disney. But there you go, guys. So that's what I'm wearing on my wrist. And now let's go ahead and get into the unboxing. So guys, like I mentioned in the intro, I've already opened this, unpacked it, sized it, I've been wearing it, and thus I won't be a traditional unboxing. I don't have the packaging, and it won't be an original reaction to it because I've already done that, but I lost all the footage. So a little frustrating, but I'm gonna go ahead and still do the unboxing so you guys can see this watch and get that unboxing feeling. And like I said, the unboxings are going to be a little bit different than the reviews. The reviews are going to be more close-ups of the watch and wearing it with clothes and things like that, what I think about it, accuracy ratings and all that. But for now, let's go ahead and take a look at this packaging. The true original, Robert H. Ingersoll. And then you do have Ingersoll 1892 on both sides of the sleeve for this. Very nice wooden box, and that's kind of what it looks like right there. Ingersoll 1892. Very, very nice. I believe it's a completely real wooden box, and let's go ahead and open it and see what is inside. And there you go, guys. The secret to life itself is in this very thick book. So this is the watch instructions and lifetime warranty, which is actually something I didn't realize it had when I first unboxed it. And now doing this unboxing again has shown me that Ingersoll stands by their products and has a lifetime warranty. Really, really cool, really, really nice. I really appreciate that. And this warranty and instruction manual is stamped with the true original, Robert H. Ingersoll, and the Ingersoll 1892 logo. And it's very, very thick. Has the secret to life itself, like I mentioned. I'll go through that one day, but for now, let's go ahead and put it back in here. Pretty much slam it down, and then also included is this authenticity card, which is metal, if you guys couldn't tell. Yeah, it's a full metal authenticity card, which I think is really cool. I think more companies should do this because it just feels cool. It feels better than a little, cheap card or whatever. And then Ingersoll 1892, of course, on the back. So really, really nice. Really nice to have. And the presentation itself is really good for $100. But of course, what we all came for, the watch. So like I said, it's already sized up. And I'm just going to go ahead and take it off here. I'll move the very nice packaging and box to the side. And let's take a closer look at the watch. So like I mentioned, guys, at the beginning of this video during the intro, this watch to me just kind of screamed Rolex Explorer 1. Ingersoll automatic at the 12 o'clock, 330 feet and 100 meters at the bottom, and that's pretty much all it says. It's not a very busy dial, but I think it's a very, very nice blue dial that I think works really, really well. You get a polished bezel as well. I think this watch has a lot going for it. 100 meters of water resistance, an automatic Miyota movement, which is a non-hacking movement. That's probably the biggest downside on this watch, the non-hacking movement and the lack of sapphire crystal. I think a mineral crystal is fine, but I think a sapphire crystal is just way better. But I can't ask too much of it, especially considering this is a $100 watch from drop.com. And I think that the look and the overall feel of the watch makes up for the lack of those two specs that normally I find necessary on most watches. But again, the overall application of the indices, the dial, I think works really, really nice. And I'm willing to overlook. Sometimes you gotta overlook some things, you know? You can't have a perfect watch or perfect list of specifications with every watch you buy. Obviously, that's what you try to do. You try to find a watch that looks really, really good and has what you're looking for in it, but sometimes you just find a watch that you really, really like that doesn't have those features, or you find a watch that maybe has those features but doesn't necessarily look how you thought it would, but you just like it for some reason. I don't know. I think it's interesting. It's an interesting dilemma to have as a watch person. But I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the rest of the watch. You have a non-signed crown. Unfortunately, that's another kind of whatever pet peeve or thing that makes this feel not as premium, but still a really, really nice crown. Doesn't hack, but it does hand wind. And then, yeah, you get polished everywhere. You get brushed on the top of the lugs right there. You do get polished center links with this bracelet, and it is a butterfly deployment clasp style bracelet right here. Right there you have the insight to the movement, Ingersoll decorated rotor, and yeah, it's a really nice movement. It's actually pretty accurate as well. I know I said the unboxings are different from the reviews, but I've actually worn this watch and I know that it's pretty accurate down to a couple of seconds, maybe 3 or 4 seconds fast a day, but definitely not a bad thing considering you can only set it, and then if you want it to keep going, you have to keep wearing it or winding it, since it does not hack and you can't set it accurately to a different time source. Can you tell how much I don't like non-hacking? 10 ATM right there, water resistant. You get the sort of model number. You get the stainless steel notification letting you know that I use 316L stainless steel. And yeah, all in all, I think that it's a very nice watch. And you can't really go wrong with that dial. I mean, that dial looks really, really nice. Very nice and blue. Sort of like a sandblasted dial. Very nicely finished. Very nice features on this watch. The brushing is a little rough in some spots on here, but not really a deal killer for me. If you are okay with little things like that, then I think this is a watch worth looking at if you can ever find it, since I know watches come and go and then they're gone. But if you can find this watch at around the $100 mark on Amazon, I think these go for like $200 or maybe even more. But I think it's a really nice watch. And let me go ahead and take off my Mickey Mouse watch, and I will show you what it looks like on wrist. So there's the watch on my 6.5-inch wrist, and as you guys can see, it fits it pretty well. The dimensions are really nice on this watch, even though they're a little deceiving, to be honest. 40mm case, 49 lug to lug. It fits a little bit smaller than I would think of almost 50mm watch would wear. I have like 2 or 3 50mm watches, and this one doesn't feel as big as them. I don't know why that is. And yeah, it has 20mm lugs tapering all the way down to 15 there at the butterfly clasp. And I think it's a very nice watch, guys. Ingersoll, I think the only thing they could do better is maybe investing in a better movement, one that hacks, and also, investing in sapphire crystal as well. But other than that, I think they knocked it out of the park, and they know what they're doing. They've been in business since 1892, which brings us to the connection to Mickey Mouse. Ingersoll was actually the first watch company to incorporate Mickey Mouse on their dials, actually. So they're the first watch to ever do it. They're the first watch to feature Mickey Mouse. Obviously, other watches and other companies have since incorporated Mickey Mouse on their dials, but Ingersoll was the first ones to do it. So I find that really interesting, and I find it really cool that I have a connection to that, even though this isn't a Mickey Mouse watch. It's by the company that first did it. So I think that's really cool. There you go, guys. That's what the Ingersoll looks like on wrist. I personally think it's really, really nice, and I'm happy that I have this. It could be a little bit better with a sapphire crystal and an upgraded movement, but if those are the only two things going against this watch, everything else works really, really good together, and I'm really happy with it overall. First drop purchase, under $100. I think that it works really, really well. So maybe the implementation of sapphire crystal and a better hacking movement aren't the only things that Ingersoll can improve on. I think their loom, while it is nice that they applied loom on all of the applied indices as well as the hands and that second hand, which I appreciate, but it's just not very convincing lume, and you can see here after 5 minutes the lume is already dwindling down. It is a budget watch, so it is understandable, but not excusable in my opinion. So guys, there you have it, the Ingersoll Reliance. Let me know what you guys think about this watch in the comment section down below. I'm really excited to hear your opinion on this one because it is a little bit of a sleeper. Not really many people know about Ingersoll, at least as far as I'm aware. It's a little bit of a hipster watch. It's a little bit of no one really knows what it is unless they really know about watches. But to the common person, I think it's still a very nice, attractive watch. But I'm very curious to know what you guys think because this watch is a little bit unique. I feel like not a lot of people know about this company, and I think that's kind of interesting since they do have a really rich history. What do you guys think about Ingersoll watches as a whole? If you guys have heard of them, I hadn't heard about them until I legit saw this watch and I was like, wow, that's crazy. Actually, that's not true. I've seen a watch before that Ingersoll was selling that did have Mickey Mouse on the watch, and my girlfriend sent it to me, and I was like, that's a nice watch, but I don't know if I want to purchase it because it costs like a lot of money, I think. But it's very interesting and I think it's worth the money. I don't know if that watch had sapphire crystal. I'm really thinking about this whole sapphire crystal and non-hacking business, but it's how I am. I think it's a nice watch regardless. I think it's a nice watch regardless of any of that stuff, and I'm really happy with my purchase. But again, what do you guys think about this watch? What do you guys think? That's what I want to know. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys think about the connection between this company and Disneyland. Are you guys a fan of Ingersoll? Have you heard about them prior to this video or in the past? Let me know what you guys think about Ingersoll as a brand. And yeah, there you guys have it. Make sure to give this video a like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. And follow me on Instagram at Mondo the Watch Guy. Like I said during the intro, I am working on getting the giveaway video up. Have not done it yet because I'm trying to catch up on all of these unboxings, but I hope you guys stay tuned for that. The best way to do that is to subscribe. And yeah, until next time guys, I will see you later.